Dear brothers and sister, in this video we will discuss the life of Hazrat Fatima, the most honorable lady of Islam, exploring her journey from her blessed birth in Mecca to her profound legacy that continues to inspire millions. Our story begins in the holy city of Mecca, around the year 605 CE. The air was filled with the sound of bustling markets, the calls of merchants, and the hum of prayer from the Kaaba. In this sacred land, where the heart of the Abrahamic faith beat strongest, a special event was about to take place. Born to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his beloved wife, Khadija bint Khuwaylid, Fatima Zahra was the youngest of their 4 daughters. Her birth was a source of immense joy and blessing, not just for her parents but for the entire future of the Islamic world. The household of the Prophet Muhammad was a place of tranquility and profound spirituality. As the night enveloped Mecca, a sense of anticipation and excitement filled the home. Khadija, a noble and pious woman, was about to give birth. The household was calm but filled with an air of reverence, as if the very walls knew of the significance of the event about to unfold. The stars shone brightly in the clear Arabian sky, a celestial witness to the blessed moment. In the quiet hours before dawn, Khadija gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Her cries filled the room, breaking the silence and bringing tears of joy to her parents' eyes. The Prophet Muhammad, a man of deep faith and compassion, held his newborn daughter with gentle hands. His eyes, filled with love and gratitude, met those of his beloved wife. They knew that this child was destined for greatness. The Prophet named her Fatima, a name that would soon become synonymous with purity, piety, and devotion. From the very beginning, Fatima was enveloped in an atmosphere of love and reverence. Her father, the Prophet, was not just a spiritual leader, but also a devoted parent. His teachings, his compassion, and his unwavering faith would form the foundation of Fatima's upbringing. The young Fatima grew up in a home that was a beacon of Islamic values. The Prophet Muhammad and Khadija were known for their generosity, kindness, and dedication to the service of Allah. These values were instilled in Fatima from her earliest days. She was surrounded by examples of piety and virtue, not only from her parents but also from the early followers of Islam who frequented their home. Fatima's childhood was marked by a sense of serenity and purpose. The Prophet would often be seen playing with her, his face lighting up with joy at her innocent laughter. Despite the challenges and the growing opposition to his message in Mecca, he always found time to be with his family, to nurture and guide his children. He was known to say that Fatima was a part of him, that whoever pleased her, pleased him, and whoever angered her, angered him. As Fatima grew, so did her understanding of the world around her. She witnessed the growing hostility towards her father and his followers. Yet, even in the face of adversity, her faith remained unshaken. She learned the importance of patience, resilience, and unwavering trust in Allah. These early experiences shaped her character, preparing her for the pivotal role she would play in the years to come. Khadija, her mother, was a pillar of strength and support for the Prophet. She was the first to believe in his message, standing by his side through every trial. Fatima inherited this strength and unwavering faith from her mother. Khadija's compassion, wisdom, and dedication were reflected in her daughter. The bond between mother and daughter was profound, filled with mutual respect and love. In the evenings, the family would gather for meals, sharing stories and teachings. These moments were precious, as they not only strengthened their familial bonds, but also reinforced their commitment to the principles of Islam. Fatima's eyes would light up as she listened to her father's words, absorbing the lessons that would guide her throughout her life. The community in Mecca was aware of the special bond that Fatima shared with her father. They saw in her a reflection of the Prophet's qualities, his kindness, his humility, and his deep sense of justice. Even as a child, Fatima exhibited a maturity beyond her years. She was compassionate towards those in need, often seen sharing her food and belongings with the less fortunate. Her relationship with her siblings was equally loving and supportive. Together they formed a close-knit family unit, bound by their shared faith in the teachings of their father. Fatima, being the youngest, was cherished by her older sisters. They played together, learned together, and supported each other through the trials of life in Mecca. As Fatima approached adolescence, her understanding of her father's mission deepened. She witnessed the sacrifices he made, the struggles he endured, and the unwavering commitment he had to spreading the message of Islam. These observations only strengthened her resolve to support him in every way possible. Her education was not limited to religious teachings alone. The Prophet ensured that his daughters were well-rounded, knowledgeable in various aspects of life. Fatima learned about the importance of community, the value of compassion, and the significance of standing up for what is right. These lessons would later define her role in the early Islamic community. The birth of Fatima was not just an event for her family, it was a moment that would resonate through the annals of history. She was destined to become a central figure in Islam, a beacon of piety and virtue. Her life, from the very beginning, was intertwined with the message of her father, the Prophet Muhammad, and the legacy she would leave behind would continue to inspire generations of Muslims around the world. Thus, the story of Hazrat Fatima began in the holy city of Mecca, under the watchful eyes of the Prophet and his beloved wife, Khadijah. Her birth was a divine blessing, a testament to the profound faith and unwavering spirit that would characterize her life. As she grew, so did her light, illuminating the path for those who would follow in her footsteps. Fatima's childhood in the house of the Prophet Muhammad was a period of immense spiritual and emotional growth. The Prophet's household was not just a home, but a sanctuary of learning, piety, and love. Each day in this blessed household was filled with moments that would shape Fatima's character and fortify her faith. Growing up under the Prophet's guidance, Fatima experienced the essence of Islamic teachings firsthand. Her father, a paragon of mercy and wisdom, taught her the Quran and the principles of Islam. From a tender age, she absorbed the lessons of kindness, justice, and compassion that her father exemplified. The Prophet's actions were his most powerful teachings, and Fatima, with her keen observation and quick intellect, was a diligent student. Khadijah, her mother, played a pivotal role in Fatima's upbringing. Khadijah was not only a devoted wife and mother, but also a successful businesswoman and a pillar of the early Muslim community. She embodied strength, wisdom, and a deep commitment to the cause of Islam. Khadijah's unwavering support for the Prophet and her tireless efforts in helping the poor and needy left a lasting impression on Fatima. The bond between mother and daughter was one of profound respect and love, and Fatima often looked to her mother as a role model. Life in Mecca during Fatima's early years was not without its challenges. The nascent Muslim community faced significant opposition and persecution from the Quraysh, the ruling tribe of Mecca. The Prophet and his followers were subjected to ridicule, harassment, and at times, physical violence. Fatima, though young, was acutely aware of the hardships her family and the early Muslims endured. She witnessed her father's unwavering faith and resilience in the face of adversity, These experiences instilled in her a sense of courage and an unshakable trust in Allah. One poignant incident from her childhood involved seeing her father return home, covered in dust and debris, after being attacked by the Quraysh while praying at the Kaaba. Fatimah, still a child, ran to her father, weeping and cleaning the dust from his face. The Prophet comforted her, his heart aching at the sight of his young daughter distressed by the cruelty of their opponents. This incident was a testament to Fatimah's deep empathy and her innate sense of justice, traits that would define her character throughout her life. Despite the external pressures, the atmosphere within the Prophet's home was one of peace and spiritual fulfillment. The family would gather for meals, and the Prophet would share stories of the prophets before him, imparting lessons of faith and perseverance. These moments were cherished by Fatimah as they strengthened her bond with her family and reinforced the values that would guide her life. Education was a cornerstone of Fatimah's upbringing. The Prophet ensured that his daughters received a well-rounded education, encompassing not only religious teachings, but also practical knowledge. Fatimah learned the skills necessary to manage a household, including cooking, cleaning, and weaving. These skills were not merely domestic chores, but acts of devotion and service, integral to the fabric of Islamic life. In addition to her practical education, Fatimah was taught the importance of charity and helping those in need. The Prophet's household was known for its generosity, and Fatimah often witnessed her parents giving to the poor and assisting those less fortunate. This sense of social responsibility became deeply ingrained in her, shaping her into a woman of immense compassion and empathy. The bonds within the Prophet's family were strong and enduring. Fatimah shared a close relationship with her siblings, particularly her sister, Zainab. The two sisters supported each other through the trials of life in Mecca, creating a sanctuary of love and understanding within their home. These familial bonds provided Fatimah with a sense of stability and comfort, even as the external world grew increasingly hostile. As Fatimah grew older, her understanding of her father's mission deepened. She began to comprehend the significance of the revelations he received and the transformative message of Islam. This understanding brought with it a profound sense of responsibility. Fatimah realized that her life was intrinsically linked to the fate of the Muslim community. She was not merely the Prophet's daughter, but a key figure in the unfolding narrative of Islam. The early Muslims often gathered in the Prophet's home to learn and seek guidance. Fatimah was present during these gatherings, absorbing the teachings and witnessing the nascent Muslim community's struggles and triumphs. She saw the deep bonds of brotherhood and sisterhood that formed among the believers, united by their faith in Allah and their commitment to the Prophet's message. The Prophet's love for Fatimah was well known in the community. He often referred to her as Abiha, meaning the mother of her father, highlighting the special bond they shared. This nickname was a testament to Fatimah's nurturing nature and her profound empathy. She was a source of comfort and strength for her father, much like a mother to her child. One of the most significant events of Fatimah's childhood was the migration, or hijrah, to Medina. This journey marked a turning point in the history of Islam and in Fatimah's life. The migration was fraught with danger, as the Quraysh were determined to prevent the Muslims from escaping their control. Fatimah and her family faced numerous hardships during this journey, but their faith never wavered. The hijrah was a period of immense growth and transformation for Fatimah. The challenges of the journey and the establishment of a new community in Medina tested her resilience and faith. In Medina, the Muslim community began to flourish, and Fatimah's role within it became increasingly significant. She continued to support her father and contribute to the welfare of the community, embodying the principles of Islam in her daily life. Throughout her childhood and adolescence, Fatima remained a paragon of piety and virtue. Her unwavering faith, deep empathy, and sense of justice were a reflection of her upbringing in the Prophet's household. She grew into a young woman of remarkable strength and character, ready to take on the responsibilities that awaited her in the years to come. As Fatima transitioned into adulthood, the lessons and experiences of her childhood remained with her, guiding her actions and decisions. Her life was a testament to the profound influence of her parents and the enduring values they instilled in her. The story of Fatima's childhood is a story of love, faith, and resilience, laying the foundation for the remarkable legacy she would leave behind. As the Muslim community in Mecca grew, so did the intensity of persecution they faced from the Quraysh. The early followers of Islam, including the Prophet Muhammad's own family, were subjected to relentless hostility and suffering. Fatima, though still young, was not immune to these trials. She witnessed the hardships and cruelties inflicted upon her father and his followers, experiences that left an indelible mark on her character. The Prophet Muhammad's message of monotheism and social justice challenged the deeply entrenched pagan beliefs and practices of the Quraysh. This provoked a fierce backlash. The Quraysh used various tactics to undermine and discredit the Prophet, ranging from public mockery and insults to physical attacks and economic sanctions. The Muslim community, small but growing, became increasingly marginalized and vulnerable. Fatima often saw her father returning home exhausted, covered in dust and bruises from the assaults he endured. One particular incident stands out. When the Prophet was praying at the Kaaba, the Quraysh, in a display of sheer cruelty, placed the intestines of a slaughtered animal on his back. Fatima, still a child, rushed to her father's aid, weeping as she cleaned the filth from his back. Her tears were not just those of a daughter distressed by her father's suffering, but of a soul deeply moved by the injustice she witnessed. The Prophet, despite his own pain, comforted her, teaching her resilience and patience in the face of adversity. These experiences solidified Fatima's resolve and faith. She learned to embody the virtues of patience, steadfastness, and compassion that her father so often spoke of. The persecution faced by the Muslims only deepened her commitment to Islam and strengthened her bond with the community. Despite the fear and uncertainty that loomed over them, Fatima remained a beacon of hope and support for her family and the early Muslims. In these difficult times, Khadija stood as a pillar of strength. Her unwavering support for the Prophet and her tireless efforts to help the needy were exemplary. Fatima closely observed her mother's actions, learning the importance of charity and empathy. Khadija's legacy of kindness and generosity was passed on to her daughter, shaping Fatima into a compassionate and caring individual. The persecution reached its peak with the social and economic boycott imposed by the Quraysh on the Hashim clan, to which the Prophet belonged. The Muslims were forced to endure severe hardships in a valley outside Mecca. For 3 years they suffered from hunger and deprivation, as they were cut off from all trade and social interactions. Fatima experienced these hardships firsthand, yet her faith and spirit remained unbroken. During these trying times, the Prophet continued to teach and inspire his followers. He emphasized the importance of community and mutual support, principles that Fatima embraced wholeheartedly. The sense of unity and solidarity among the Muslims grew stronger as they shared their meager resources and supported one another through the ordeal. Fatima's role within this close-knit community became increasingly significant as she provided comfort and encouragement to those around her. The end of the boycott brought some relief, but it was followed by a period of great personal loss for Fatima. In the year 619 CE, known as the Year of Sorrow, she experienced the death of her beloved mother Khadija and her uncle Abu Talib, who had been a staunch protector of the Prophet. The loss of Khadija was particularly devastating for Fatima. Khadija had been her mentor, confidant, and role model. Her death left a void in Fatima's life, but it also propelled her to take on greater responsibilities within the family and the community. With the loss of their protector, Abu Talib, the Prophet and his followers faced even greater dangers in Mecca. The hostility of the Quraysh intensified, making life increasingly precarious for the Muslims. It was during this time of heightened peril that the Prophet received the divine command to migrate to Yathrib, later known as Medina. The migration, or Hijra, in 622 CE, marked a new chapter in the history of Islam and in Fatima's life. The journey to Medina was fraught with danger. The Quraysh were determined to prevent the Muslims from escaping their control and pursued them relentlessly. Fatima, along with her family and other Muslims, undertook this perilous journey with unwavering faith. The migration required leaving behind their homes, possessions, and familiar surroundings. It was a test of their faith and resilience. Fatima's strength and courage were evident throughout the journey. She provided support and encouragement to her father and the other travelers, embodying the spirit of sacrifice and devotion that characterized the early Muslim community. Upon their arrival in Medina, the Muslims were welcomed with open arms by the Ansar, the native inhabitants of the city who had embraced Islam. This hospitality and solidarity provided a much-needed sense of relief and security for the weary migrants. Medina soon became the heart of the growing Muslim community, a place where they could freely practice their faith and build a new society based on the principles of Islam. Fatima's life in Medina was marked by new beginnings and significant responsibilities. The Prophet's household was once again a center of activity and learning. Fatima, now a young woman, took on a more prominent role in managing the household and supporting her father in his mission. She was known for her piety, humility, and dedication to her family and community. It was in Medina that Fatima's life took another significant turn. Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Prophet's cousin and one of the earliest converts to Islam, expressed his desire to marry her. Ali was known for his bravery, wisdom, and unwavering loyalty to the Prophet. The marriage proposal was welcomed by the Prophet, who saw in Ali a fitting partner for his beloved daughter. The wedding of Fatima and Ali was a simple and humble affair, reflecting the values of modesty and simplicity that the Prophet emphasized. Despite their limited material wealth, the union was blessed with mutual love, respect, and shared commitment to the cause of Islam. The Prophet himself performed the marriage ceremony, invoking Allah's blessings upon the couple. Fatima and Ali's marriage marked the beginning of a new chapter in Fatima's life. They established their own household, which became a model of Islamic virtues. Despite the challenges and hardships they faced, their home was filled with love, faith, and mutual support. Fatima managed her household with grace and resilience, balancing her duties as a wife and mother with her responsibilities to the community. Their marriage was blessed with children who would go on to play pivotal roles in Islamic history. Hassan and Hussein, their two sons, and Zainab and Kulthum, their daughters, were raised in an environment of piety and devotion. Fatima's nurturing and compassionate nature, combined with Ali's wisdom and bravery, created a strong foundation for their children's upbringing. Fatima's role in Medina extended beyond her household. She was actively involved in the welfare of the community, often assisting those in need and providing support to the families of the early Muslims. Her acts of charity and kindness were well known, and she was deeply respected and loved by the people of Medina. The Prophet's household in Medina continued to be a center of learning and guidance. Fatimah remained close to her father, seeking his counsel and learning from his teachings. The bond between father and daughter was as strong as ever, rooted in mutual love and respect. Fatimah's presence was a source of comfort and strength for the Prophet, particularly during the numerous trials and challenges he faced. The migration to Medina and the establishment of the Muslim community there were pivotal moments in Fatimah's life. These experiences further strengthened her faith and commitment to the principles of Islam. Her resilience, compassion, and unwavering dedication to her family and community continued to define her character, making her a revered figure in the history of Islam. In Medina, Fatimah's life took on new dimensions with her marriage to Ali ibn Abi Talib. Their union was not only a personal joy, but also a spiritual partnership dedicated to the cause of Islam. Ali, known for his valor and wisdom, was a fitting partner for Fatimah, whose piety and compassion complemented his strengths. Their marriage was marked by mutual respect, love, and a shared commitment to their faith. The wedding itself was a simple and modest affair, reflecting the values that both Fatimah and Ali cherished. The Prophet Muhammad himself performed the marriage ceremony, invoking Allah's blessings upon the couple. Despite their limited material wealth, the union was enriched with spiritual blessings and the profound love they had for each other. Ali had no wealth to offer but his loyalty, strength, and dedication to the cause of Islam, which were more precious to Fatimah than any worldly possessions. Fatimah and Ali set up their household in Medina, where they faced the realities of life with humility and resilience. Their home, though modest, was filled with love, faith, and a strong sense of purpose. They shared a deep bond, supporting each other through the various trials and challenges that came their way. Fatimah's compassion and nurturing nature, coupled with Ali's strength and wisdom, created a harmonious and spiritually enriching environment for their family. Their marriage was soon blessed with children. Hassan, their first son, was born, followed by Hussein. Both sons would grow up to play pivotal roles in Islamic history. Fatimah and Ali also had daughters, Zainab and Kulthum, who were raised with the same values of piety, courage, and dedication to the faith. Fatimah's role as a mother was characterized by her profound love and care for her children. She instilled in them the teachings of Islam and the values of integrity, justice, and compassion. Life in Medina was not without its challenges. The Muslim community continued to face threats from their adversaries, and Fatimah's family was often at the forefront of these struggles. Despite the hardships, Fatimah remained a pillar of strength for her family. She managed her household with grace and resilience, ensuring that her family was well cared for even in the most trying times. Her humility and simplicity were evident in every aspect of her life, from her modest clothing to the humble meals she prepared for her family. Fatimah's dedication to her family did not detract from her responsibilities to the wider community. She was known for her acts of charity and kindness, often assisting those in need and providing support to the less fortunate. Her home was a place of refuge for many, where people could find solace and comfort. Fatimah's compassion and empathy were boundless, and she was deeply loved and respected by the people of Medina. One of the significant challenges faced by the Muslim community in Medina was the series of battles against the Quraysh and other adversaries. The Battle of Uhud, in particular, was a moment of great trial. During this battle, the Muslims faced severe losses, and the Prophet himself was injured. Fatimah played a crucial role in tending to the wounded, including her father. She displayed immense courage and composure as she nursed the injured and provided solace to those in distress. Her actions during the Battle of Uhud highlighted her strength and dedication to her faith and her family. Fatima's life in Medina was also marked by her deep spiritual connection with Allah. She was known for her devotion to prayer and her profound understanding of the Quran. Her faith was the cornerstone of her life, guiding her actions and decisions. Fatima's spirituality was evident in her daily routines, from her regular prayers to her acts of charity. She was a source of inspiration for those around her, embodying the teachings of Islam in every aspect of her life. The relationship between Fatima and her father remained exceptionally close. The Prophet Muhammad held Fatima in high regard, often referring to her as the mother of her father, a term that reflected her nurturing and supportive nature. He would visit her home regularly, sharing meals and imparting wisdom. These visits were cherished moments for Fatima, as they provided her with spiritual guidance and emotional support. The bond between father and daughter was unbreakable, rooted in mutual love and respect. Fatima's role within the community extended beyond her family. She was an active participant in the social and religious life of Medina. Her home was a place of learning and reflection, where people would gather to seek her counsel and learn from her experiences. Fatima's wisdom and insight were highly valued, and she played a significant role in fostering a sense of unity and solidarity within the Muslim community. One of the defining aspects of Fatima's life was her unwavering commitment to justice and truth. She was a vocal advocate for the rights of the oppressed and marginalized, and she was not afraid to speak out against injustice. Her sense of fairness and integrity was deeply rooted in her faith, and she strived to uphold these values in all her interactions. Fatima's dedication to justice was a reflection of her father's teachings and her own profound understanding of the principles of Islam. As a mother, Fatima was deeply involved in the upbringing of her children. She ensured that they were educated in the teachings of Islam and instilled in them the values of honesty, courage, and compassion. Hassan and Hussein, her two sons, grew up to become exemplary figures in Islamic history, known for their piety and dedication to the faith. Fatima's daughters, Zainab and Kulthum, were also raised with a strong sense of responsibility and commitment to their community. Fatima's influence on her children was profound, shaping their characters and guiding them throughout their lives. Fatima's life in Medina was characterized by her resilience and adaptability. She faced numerous challenges, from personal losses to the ongoing struggles of the Muslim community, yet she remained steadfast in her faith. Her ability to navigate these difficulties with grace and dignity was a testament to her inner strength and unwavering trust in Allah. Fatima's resilience was a source of inspiration for those around her, as she demonstrated the power of faith and perseverance in the face of adversity. The legacy of Fatima's life in Medina is one of profound impact and lasting influence. Her dedication to her family, her community, and her faith left an indelible mark on the history of Islam. Fatima's life serves as a timeless example of piety, compassion, and unwavering commitment to the principles of Islam. Her story continues to inspire and guide generations of Muslims around the world, reminding them of the enduring power of faith and the importance of living a life dedicated to the service of Allah and humanity. The Battle of Uhud was a significant and trying time for the early Muslim community in Medina. This battle, which took place in 625 CE, was the second major military encounter between the Muslims and the Quraysh of Mecca. Unlike the Battle of Badr, where the Muslims achieved a decisive victory, the Battle of Uhud was a hard-fought and challenging conflict that tested the resolve and faith of the believers. As the battle unfolded, the Muslims initially gained the upper hand. However, Due to a strategic error and the premature abandonment of their posts by some archers, the tide turned in favor of the Quraysh. The Muslims faced heavy losses, and the Prophet Muhammad himself was injured. In the midst of the chaos, Fatima's courage and resilience shone brightly. Upon hearing the news of her father's injuries, Fatima rushed to the battlefield. Her heart was filled with concern and determination as she made her way to her father's side. The sight of the Prophet, covered in blood and suffering from his wounds, was a heart-wrenching scene. Fatima, however, did not succumb to despair. With calm composure, she tended to his injuries, using whatever resources were available to her. She cleaned his wounds and provided comfort, her hands steady and her heart filled with faith. Fatima's actions during the Battle of Uhud were not limited to caring for her father. She also assisted other wounded soldiers, offering solace and aid to those in need. Her presence on the battlefield was a source of strength and encouragement for the Muslim fighters, who drew inspiration from her unwavering dedication and compassion. Fatima's role in this critical moment exemplified her extraordinary character and her deep commitment to the well-being of the Muslim community. The aftermath of the Battle of Uhud was a time of reflection and recovery for the Muslims. Despite the heavy losses and the physical and emotional toll, the community emerged with renewed determination and a strengthened sense of unity. Fatima continued to support her father and the community, her resilience and faith serving as a beacon of hope and inspiration. In the years that followed, Fatima's role within the Muslim community became increasingly prominent. Her household in Medina was a center of activity and learning, where people would gather to seek her counsel and guidance. Fatima's wisdom and insight were deeply respected, and her home was a place of solace and refuge for many. She continued to engage in acts of charity and kindness, embodying the principles of Islam in every aspect of her life. Fatima's relationship with her father remained exceptionally close. The Prophet Muhammad held Fatima in high regard, often referring to her as the leader of the women of paradise. This title was a reflection of her piety, her unwavering faith, and her profound understanding of the teachings of Islam. The Prophet's love and respect for Fatima were evident in their interactions, and he often sought her comfort and counsel during times of difficulty. As the Prophet's health began to decline, Fatima was a constant presence by his side. She provided him with care and comfort, her heart heavy with the knowledge that her beloved father was nearing the end of his earthly journey. The Prophet's final days were marked by moments of deep reflection and spiritual guidance as he prepared the community for the future. Fatima's unwavering support and love during this time were a source of immense comfort to him. The passing of the Prophet Muhammad in 632 CE was a moment of profound sorrow for Fatima and the entire Muslim community. The loss of her father was a deeply personal and devastating blow. Fatima's grief was profound, as she mourned the man who had been her mentor, guide, and beloved parent. Her heart was heavy with the loss, yet her faith remained unshaken. In the days following the Prophet's death, Fatima's role within the community took on new significance. She continued to uphold the teachings and principles of Islam, offering guidance and support to those in need. Fatima's resilience in the face of such immense personal loss was a testament to her deep faith and her unwavering commitment to the values her father had imparted to her. Fatima's health began to decline shortly after the Prophet's passing. Despite her own suffering, she remained steadfast in her faith and continued to advocate for justice and truth. One of the most poignant moments during this period was her address to the Muslim community, in which she defended her father's legacy and the rights of her family. Fatima's eloquence and conviction were powerful reminders of her unwavering dedication to the principles of Islam. Fatima's final days were marked by moments of reflection and prayer. She found solace in her faith, drawing strength from her deep connection with Allah. Surrounded by her family, she continued to impart wisdom and guidance, ensuring that her children and those around her remained steadfast in their commitment to Islam. Fatima's enduring legacy was a reflection of her profound impact on the Muslim community and her unwavering dedication to the principles of justice, compassion, and faith. In her final moments, Fatima expressed her desire to be buried in secrecy, a request that was honored by her family. Her burial was a somber and private affair, attended by a few close family members and friends. Fatima's passing marked the end of an era, but her legacy continued to inspire and guide the Muslim community. Fatima's life was a testament to the enduring power of faith, resilience, and compassion. Her unwavering dedication to her family, her community, and her faith left an indelible mark on the history of Islam. Fatima's legacy as the most honorable lady of Islam continues to inspire and guide generations of Muslims around the world. Her story is a powerful reminder of the importance of living a life dedicated to the service of Allah and humanity, embodying the principles of justice, compassion, and unwavering faith. Following the passing of her father, Prophet Muhammad, Fatima's life was marked by a profound sense of loss and grief. The bond she shared with her father was unparalleled, and his death left an irreplaceable void in her life. Her health, already fragile, began to deteriorate further under the weight of her sorrow. Despite her physical weakness, Fatima remained steadfast in her faith and her commitment to the values and principles her father had taught her. Fatima's final days were spent in quiet reflection and prayer. She often reminisced about the moments she had shared with her father, drawing strength from his teachings and the memories of his unwavering support and love. Fatima found solace in her faith, spending long hours in prayer and recitation of the Quran. Her spiritual connection with Allah was a source of comfort and strength during this difficult time. The loss of the Prophet had a profound impact on the entire Muslim community. Fatima, as his beloved daughter, felt a deep sense of responsibility to uphold his legacy and continue his mission. She was determined to ensure that the principles of justice, compassion, and truth that her father had instilled in her were preserved and passed on to future generations. Despite her declining health, Fatima remained an active and vocal advocate for the rights of her family and the Muslim community. One of the most significant moments during this period was Fatima's speech to the Muslim community, known as the Sermon of Fadak. In this powerful address, Fatima eloquently defended her father's legacy and the rights of her family, particularly in relation to the land of Fadak, which had been granted to her by the Prophet. Her speech was a profound expression of her unwavering commitment to justice and truth. Fatima's words resonated deeply with those who heard her, reaffirming her role as a leader and a voice for the oppressed. Fatima's final days were also marked by her concern for the future of her children. She spent time with Hassan, Hussein, Zainab, and Kulthum, imparting to them the teachings and values of Islam that she held so dear. She spoke to them about the importance of faith, integrity, and compassion, ensuring that they understood the responsibilities that lay ahead. Fatima's nurturing and loving nature was evident in these moments, as she sought to prepare her children for the challenges they would face. Fatima's relationship with her husband Ali remained a source of strength and support. Ali, deeply affected by his wife's deteriorating health, did everything in his power to provide her with comfort and care. Their bond, forged through years of shared struggles and unwavering faith, remained unbroken. Ali's love and respect for Fatima were evident in his tireless efforts to ease her suffering and his steadfast support of her endeavors. As her health continued to decline, Fatima expressed her desire to be buried in secrecy. She requested that her burial take place at night, attended only by a few close family members and friends. This request was honored by her family, and Fatima was laid to rest in a somber and private ceremony. The secrecy of her burial was a reflection of her humility and her desire to protect her family from further strife and conflict. Fatima's passing marked the end of an era, but her legacy continued to live on through her children and the values she had imparted to them. Her life, characterized by unwavering faith, resilience, and compassion, served as a powerful example for the Muslim community. Fatima's story was a testament to the enduring strength of faith and the profound impact one individual can have on the course of history. In the years that followed, Fatima's children carried forward her legacy with dedication and courage. Hassan and Hussein, in particular, became central figures in Islamic history, known for their piety, bravery, and commitment to justice. The legacy of Fatima's teachings and values was evident in their actions and their unwavering dedication to the principles of Islam. Fatima's daughter Zainab also played a significant role in preserving her mother's legacy. Zainab's courage and eloquence were instrumental in the aftermath of the Battle of Karbala, where she stood as a beacon of strength and resilience. Zainab's unwavering faith and her commitment to justice were a reflection of the values her mother had instilled in her. Fatima's impact extended beyond her immediate family. Her life and legacy continue to inspire and guide the Muslim community for generations to come. The principles of justice, compassion, and faith that she embodied became foundational values for the community, shaping its identity and guiding its actions. Fatima's story was a source of inspiration for countless Muslims, reminding them of the importance of living a life dedicated to the service of Allah and humanity. Throughout history, Fatima has been revered as a symbol of piety, strength, and unwavering faith. Her life story has been told and retold, serving as a powerful example of the profound impact one individual can have on the world. Fatima's legacy is a testament to the enduring power of faith and the importance of living a life guided by the principles of justice, compassion, and unwavering commitment to the truth. In the centuries that followed, Fatima's influence continued to be felt in various aspects of Islamic culture and tradition. Her story was celebrated in poetry, literature, and religious teachings, ensuring that her legacy remained alive in the hearts and minds of Muslims around the world. Fatima's example continues to inspire and guide Muslims, reminding them of the importance of living a life dedicated to the service of Allah and humanity. Fatima's legacy is also evident in the numerous institutions and initiatives that have been established in her name. Schools, mosques, and charitable organizations around the world have been dedicated to her memory, reflecting her commitment to education, faith, and service to others. These institutions continue to uphold the values that Fatima cherished, ensuring that her legacy lives on through their work. Fatima's life and legacy are a powerful reminder of the profound impact that one individual can have on the world. Her unwavering faith, resilience, and compassion continue to inspire and guide Muslims around the world, reminding them of the importance of living a life dedicated to the service of Allah and humanity. Fatima's story is a testament to the enduring power of faith and the profound impact that one individual's dedication to the principles of justice, compassion, and truth can have on the course of history.